So today my wife comes to visit, I get my Hickman dressing changed, I try desperately to shoot some interesting B-roll of me taking pills that I do every day, and I get my Hickman dressing changed. I see you.
You knew I was here.
I did. I literally just flicked my my misting and I saw you gowning up and I thought, oh, can you come in? Hello. My wife is a sneaky shit. We had an extended message conversation that whole morning where she said she wasn't going to come up, she was going to stay at home and spend the day with Charlie and spare herself the 2.5 hour round trip coming up to Plymouth to see me. She even sent me a message confirming that she wasn't coming up while she was in the hospital car park. Okay, so what have we got in here?
Fluclonazole.
Sorry?
Fluclonazole.
Fluclonazole.
Antifungal.
Antifungal.
Acyclovir.
Acyclovir.
Antiviral.
Antiviral.
Omeprazole. PPI.
But fortunately her being there has spared me from having to explain any of these pills on my own. Okay.
Stomach protector.
Good.
I think you said paracetamol.
Yep.
Yeah. Omeprazole. Prednisolone.
Smashing.
Steroids.
I'm going to try and film it in like a sort of Requiem for a Dream style where the whole thing moves. Have any of you seen Requiem for a Dream? It is one of my favourite films ever. It's amazing. But if you have seen that film and you know how it ends, it's probably best to think that maybe this is not the film you want to be copying in terms of talking about drugs. Well, we're looking for close focus on the drinking, and then we want to maintain focus. Focus. Why am I being so camp? And then as I lean my head back, I want you to tilt this with my head. Do you understand? Can you do it?
I don't know. I didn't know you were going to do it twice.
There were so many and they tasted so bad.
No.
Ah, thank you very much.
Pudding tonight.
Sorry?
You're having pudding tonight.
I am or I'm not?
You are.
Well, that's good. I like pudding.
Don't you usually have pudding, do you?
I do.
Do you?
Well, I always have the pudding. So, man talks about food, as man seems to do a lot these days, but it is worth mentioning that with the NHS food, although it itself is not great, with every single evening meal you do get a dessert of some kind, which I genuinely missed when I got out and went back home. Well, that's very small in a frame, isn't it? Let's try, how is this? Don't knock over the soup. And the sun's coming out. There we go. Let's change that. Okay, forgive the alluring laying down posture. Bald man in Star Wars t-shirt and grey pyjamas laying uncomfortably on a hospital bed is alluring. I'm trying to make it more visually interesting by not just doing this all the time. So it is Friday the 4th of October, day 9, I think. A fairly standard day today. I did not nap, which is my first non-napping day for quite some time. It is a day as all the days are, so meds arrive in the morning, big pots. They were not very tasty, very powdery. Loads of those. Bladder scans, doing weight, doing OBS, doing all that jazz. I had a visit from a transplant nurse, and he gave me some information about some grants and sort of like some support systems that are in place, which I wasn't sure I'd be able to access because obviously I'm not a cancer patient. I've had the same treatment as cancer patients. Exposure. The same treatment as cancer patients, but I'm not a cancer patient. I'd never heard about these treatments before. I had no idea they even existed, and it sounded like a really, really good service to be able to offer people. And I wasn't sure if I'd be able to access them, but it turned out I actually could. A place for family members to stay, which would be really nice, so they won't have to always go to an Airbnb. Sort of trying to reclaim back some expenses, like a Willow Foundation that helps do like activities, and it's like a charity that you do like certain days out with your family that you wouldn't ordinarily be able to do, that kind of thing. The accommodation looked fantastic, but it was right in central Plymouth, really near the hospital. So if she wanted to stay in an Airbnb, the advantage of that was that it was roughly the same price, and it meant she could stay closer to some other sort of child-friendly attractions for my son. In terms of the Willow Foundation, that was amazing. There were some people on the unit that I'd seen access that, and they had massages and Reiki and all these other kinds of things. But to be honest, for me, in my situation, I didn't really feel comfortable applying to ask for it. As an MS patient with a a low EDSS and a good quality of life across the board. Obviously, what I have wasn't killing me, so it was literally just the treatment. So I didn't feel comfortable asking for something like that. I had a 6-month lead-up time to the treatment itself, so I saved a little bit of money before I went in. I was also getting sick pay from my job. I lecture at a college for 16 to 19-year-olds, and I was able to do some editing from my hospital room. And I knew how lucky I was to be getting HSCT on the NHS in the first place. So with all that combined, to be honest, it felt like there were people in a far worse position who deserved that and needed that money far more than me. So we never filled out any of the forms.
I was quite excited. My wife told me she was going to smuggle me in some pizza, but was then informed by my mother-in-law, who fairly pointed out that I shouldn't really have that on a neutropenic diet. So, alas, my very great excitement over mozzarella is dashed. Yeah, generally feeling a bit better, all said. Stomach settling a little bit. Still have to pee into a pot all the time. But I think that's going to stop soon as well.
Nope, 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 nope.
Lisa, the previous MS transplant patient, got out in 16 days. If I'm on 9, I've only got a week left.
I also got the days wrong. It was 16 days post-transplant, not 16 days from day of arrival. So it meant I had a much longer journey left.
Although by all accounts, she was a bit different. She used to like exercise and do stuff in here. She seems like quite a different lady. I'm more sedentary. I'm more of a sitter. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, not a bad day today. All looking rosy. So I will catch up with you again tomorrow. You look good with your mask.
Every morning, big pile of pills. Let's begin. Trying again with the Funky Pills B-roll.
I mean, filming wise that didn't work and that tasted terrible.
Okay, now Abby still doesn't want to be filmed, which is okay. But so we're gonna get a dressing change. Not overly exciting, but I'm kind of out of things to talk about for a little while. And so this is what we will film. Look, we're doing a thing with sticks. Okay, so we go.
It's kind of odd seeing that line through your skin. Like, I've put it big on the screen here, and obviously you'll see it full frame in a moment. But yeah, it was kind of strange. In the first few days, whenever I'd look in the mirror, I noticed it quite a lot. But same with everything, when you're in hospital for this kind of treatment, new things become normal very, very quickly. And after a couple of days, I completely stopped noticing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stick.
Top bit is, this bit's good.
The top bit with the skin is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just whack some tape on it. Like, just go. I said when I was at home, I stuck loads of plasters on it. Unfortunately, the difficulty we've got with the dressing is that because I'm so hairy, even after what is a much thinner chest than it would have been, it's difficult. Nothing sticks. Like basically, even with extra tape, nothing sticks. I've got my beard trimmers that my wife bought to sort out my face the other day. I'm gonna have a quick trim here, give myself what can only be described as like a spoon chest. I really need to go to the gym.
Oh, this heavy again. Gym. Oh my god. Just to point out to you, like, this is like, how much is this? This is like 11.5, 12 kilos on here, and I'm very small. Oh, okay, it's really worth it for the joke. Gym.
I don't really think you can. Well, it's gonna be different. It's gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna try again. I'm concerned I might get hair like in the. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it won't because it's stitched, but.
I was a little bit worried about hair coming off, falling inside the dressing, and then somehow working its way past the stitches and it being embedded in my body somehow. I know that's stupid, but I was still a little bit concerned.
Fully shaved. Let's do this. Let's make it sticky.
It's gonna stick. I'm gonna.
Look at that.
36.6.
Oxygen saturation, part of the OBS. It's the easiest one. So they'll do blood pressure, they do temperature, they do oxygen saturation sort of every 2 or 3 hours. In the mornings and evenings as well, the protocol where I was to do a lying and standing blood pressure as well, which would take like 15 or 20 minutes total. So in terms of your day, these are going to become like the regular interruptions and the only chance quite often where you'll get a chance to speak to another human.
What is this again?
Clexane.
That's the anticoagulant. Do it. Thanks, very good. Thanks. Painless. It was a good one.
It's really weird. I remember that clicking sound really well. It was the only injection or thing they gave me that made that particular noise. And I don't know what it is with the Clexane. It was actually, it's not painful per se, but it did sting. It's the only subcut I've ever had where it stings for like 20 or 30 seconds after they've given it to you. So for me to say that it was completely painless was actually kind of a big deal. I was trying to be complimentary.
Okay, so end of day, Saturday, 6th of October.
5th of October, not the 6th.
Day 10, 9. I'll never get this right. I don't think I ever get the numbers right. Not a huge amount to update on today, really. Pretty much the same as the last couple of days. Felt like I needed to nap quite a lot earlier on, but I had some editing I really wanted to do, so I kind of powered through it.
What I didn't really realise then was that I was able to power through it. I felt really tired, but I could still push through. 5 days prior, if I'd been that tired and I wanted to do work, there would have been nothing I could do about it. I was going to zonk out with that laptop on my lap regardless. So things were improving, just not at the speed I might have wanted.
That's kind of what I'm working on now as well. So yeah, keeping myself busy. Same old, pills, steroids, antifungal, antiviral. Didn't have any disgusting phosphate drink or anything like that today. Antibiotics are going up in a minute, I think. The Tazocin. Bladder scans, stomach injections. New stomach injection tomorrow, the GSF starts. So I've been doing the anticoagulants and then stomach injection starts soon. Only thing really to note, and it's not particularly exciting, but it's different, and that's pretty much all I can hope for at this stage. I'm still very hungry. I'm losing weight still. I'm back down I'm back down to actually just below my admission weight. So I was 62 kilos when I came in. I think I was 61.8 when I weighed myself early this evening.
I was talking in kilos while I was in there because that's how they were doing my weight. And I remember at the time I knew the conversion. Now, I got no idea. I say I'm whatever, I don't even know what that means. I don't know what I am now. I got no clue. I think I'm about just shy of 11 stone now. No idea what that means either in pounds or in kilos. Actually, pounds is quite easy. That's it. Hang on, is it easy? Is it 14? Is it 14 pounds? It's 14 pounds per stone, isn't it? If I had speedy maths, I would tell you what that means. It means that even while I'm adding on a bit of chub, I'm still very small.
But I want to eat a lot. So I ate all the food they brought me, and the ladies are very kind. They gave me loads of extra food, loads of extra custard. They look after me. But I'm also enjoying the snacks my wife brought me. So if I show you my my little snack feast. So we got some crackers here. I've got my Tuck crackers along with the Jacob's cream crackers that I've been hoarding. Little bits of cheese.
Man talks about food again, except this time I'm jazzing it up by showing you some cheese as well.
Cheese slices my wife brought in for me. Snacker Jacks. Yeah, it's like a full-on tea, really, after my tea.
And I would have that supper of cheese and crackers after the food they had already served me and the dessert I'd eaten with that food. And I would do that every night. I ate a lot.
But I've been quite looking forward to this for a while because simple things and food. So yeah, that's going to be my evening at this stage. That's about it. I think I'm going to say goodnight now. Yeah, all is pretty good. It's a waiting game. My numbers, like neutrophils and stuff, it's all low. It's all on the floor. I think they're just, you know, the HP and platelets are kicking around and sort of like maybe transplant levels, but not quite. So waiting game. Wait and see when I can get myself out. Anyway, that's it. Good night for now. See you later.
Finished. So really settling to the routine now. I kind of got used to the idea that things were going to change, and watching the footage, you don't realize how fast you get used to it. So with a few days being all beeps and pumps and feeling rubbish, and then a few days afterwards feeling better, but not even really realizing the distance you've traveled from where you were. And it's all about, you know, stomach injections and OBS and eating like a tiny bald horse, but you do get used to it. My quest to record interesting B-roll of taking pills doesn't stop, but certainly slows down, and I promise to only include include it hopefully once per vlog until this thing is finished. I suppose the biggest part, and certainly the longest section I think of future Chris doing some yakking at you, is the grants and stuff, which were new to me. And looking back, and I think it was the right decision not to apply for anything. Certainly didn't feel right doing it, comparing my situation to other people who have MS, other people who do HSCT, and then comparing myself to the rest of the people on the bay who all have cancer, several of whom were, you know, younger than me or could be terminal. So, you know, that was the right thing. When other people choose to go in for it, I hope that people do take advantage of those grants. You know, it makes a big difference to how people feel when they're in hospital. It just wasn't right for me at the time because I thought I was already quite fortunate in my situation. And that is it. Once again, thank you very, very much for watching as ever. Please do hit the like and the subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate it. Any comments or feedback, throw it down below. And then in about 5 seconds, you'll see a beep and lots of me swearing when I get everything wrong. This was the longest attempt at doing Future Chris. I've been recording for 27 minutes. So enjoy, and I will see you next time. Wait, what is next time? I have no idea. It just has the... I've got all this stuff. I've got the entire month synced up on the timeline. And usually it's labelled what the day is and what kind of stuff goes on. But note, for the next few days, nothing at all. Just the date. So next one, 6th, 7th, and possibly 8th of October. See you then. Oh, fuck you. Fucking thing. So today my wife comes to visit. Is that mic gonna be okay? Yeah, okay. And I try my best desperately to shoot some interesting B-roll. My wife is a sneaky shit. She we had a whole message and we had a really oh, for fuck's sake. Have any of you seen Wet Cream Fruit? It's amazing. And bald man in Star Wars t-shirt and grey pajamas could be bald man. I had no about. It sounded brilliant. It's a really, really good thing that the people are able to. However, I opted not to. In the end. Ended to like sort of book Airbnb on a. However, I opted. It meant she, you know. However, somebody who had a pretty good. And I knew how lucky I was to be getting HSCT on the NHS, and I knew how lucky I was to be getting. If I managed to. So it meant I had longer left. What's wrong with me today? So it meant I had longer left on that 16-day account, even if... What's wrong with you? Yeah, I tried again with the funky... but it's something that I did still... that normal becomes normal...